Hey folks, it's your girl Lexi Mahari, and I am back with another episode of Buzzworthy Chit Chat, where I like to share my opinion on the latest pop culture news, current events, and so much more. But before we dive in, please take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the notification bell so that you can be notified each time I upload a brand new video. In this episode, we are going to be reviewing Married to Medicine Season 9, Episode 5, An Axe to Grind. Listen, folks, let's face it, this episode did not have a whole lot going on. Definitely lived up to the filler episode definition. However, I would definitely say the first 5 to 10 minutes had a little bit going on, a little leftover conflict that we had to resolve. So with that in mind, let's get into it. Here are my top 3 moments of this week's episode. My number 3 moment of this episode has to go to the Never Have I Ever game. Now, this particular selection could have easily been number 2, so I'm going to say there is no real particular order between number 2 and 3 for this particular video, but the Never Have I Ever game was hilarious, and it was good to see these ladies kind of in a lighter mood, a lighter state, not necessarily going after each other. There were definitely some moments where you thought it was about to pop off, but the conversation around the credit, the children, meaning disciplining their children, and we'll just call it intimacy because I try to keep my channel PG-13 on for the most part, I thought was hilarious as it related to each of these ladies and their experiences. You know, it was good to see Tessa kind of lighten up a little bit. You know, those first few episodes were intense between her and Heavenly. So getting to see her laugh a little bit more, us getting to see her and Heavenly be cordial was definitely a nice touch to last night's episode. So that's my number 3 moment of this week. So my number 2 moment goes to, the peer pressure experience that Toya was trying to put over Jackie. You know, Dr. Jackie clearly is not a drinker, or at least she doesn't drink amongst mixed company, I suspect. And, you know, Dr. Jackie is pretty much all about her image. So I would not expect to see her get drunk, sloppy drunk on national television by any stretch. You know, she is definitely more reserved and I think more protective of her image, you know, unless you catch her off guard, as we saw with the Buffy situation, right? So yeah, we weren't going to see Dr. Jackie get drunk. And so I thought it was crazy that we had Toya attempting to exert peer pressure over our Dr. Jackie. That just wasn't going to happen. So we had Heavenly's friend, the attorney, I think her name's Audra, attempt to jump in and defend Dr. Jackie, saying that, hey, she doesn't have to take a drink, in so many words. And then, of course, we have Toya question her professionalism, you know, her credentials, so to speak, right? That she's a lawyer, but she said she wasn't a good lawyer in this instance. So, we all know that you cannot challenge someone professionally, their reputation, so to speak, on national television. So with Toya doing that, we can expect to see there be some type of retribution that's going to happen later on, right? I think Toya will get got later on. I think the attorney allowed that case to rest in that moment for the sake of fun, but I cannot envision her allowing this person attack her on television. And I know it seems like a simple attack. However, she is an attorney. This is her reputation. So you discounting or disqualifying her education, her work, and her experience is never going to just get lost as it relates to reality television. So we see in the preview that this is definitely not the end of the discussion, but that was my number 2 moment of this episode. My top moment of the night has to be the actual start of the episode, which was a continuation from last week, and that being when I believe it was Heavenly's husband, or it could have been Simone's husband, or actually, I think it was Contessa's husband. But nonetheless, when someone made the remark that the men were acting like the wives, and they were. You had Dr. Eugene and Anila's husband just going at it still about the joke. The joke was funny, but Dr. Eugene was still taking it quite personally. And I thought some of his points were valid, right? That he had concerns that his peer, his so-called friend, had basically taken on the joke, given the joke life, and he felt like it was a personal attack on him versus what the women tend to do in attacking each other. So the argument that he made, I guess, was fair. Again, that's his perspective, and his perspective is his perspective and what he feels. However, it was good to still see Anila's husband kind of take a step back and apologize for, I think, what was the fourth time about his actions in participating in the joke. So that's my review of this week's Married to Medicine. Short and sweet. The episode just did not have a whole lot going on. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. You guys stay safe out there. Thanks for supporting the channel. It's a slow growth, but hey, I'm going to take it. You don't have to listen, but I thank you for coming back each week. You guys stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.